Good morning, children. Today I am going to start with connective tissue. In our last class, we have discussed about epithelial tissue and its various types. Now we are start with connective tissue. Connective tissue developed from mesoderm and is widely distributed in the body. There are four main classes of connective tissues. They are connective tissue which include fat and the fibrous tissue of ligaments. Next, cartilage, bones and blood. So like this, there are four types of connective tissues are present in our body. Major functions of connective tissues are binding and support, protection, insulation and transportation of substances. These are the main functions of connective tissue. Actually, connective tissue in embryological origin, connective tissue is developed from the mesoderm. There are three germ layers in the development of embryo: ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. This connective tissues are developed from the mesodermal cells of the embryological layer. And there are four main types of connective tissue seen in our body. One is connective tissue. This connective tissue include fat and fibrous tissues of ligaments. Second one is cartilage. Third one is bones, and fourth one is blood. And its function are binding and support, protection, insulation and transportation of substances. Component of connective tissue. All connective tissue consists of actually three main components, namely fibers, ground substance and cells. There are three main components we can see in the connective tissues. They are fibers, ground substance and cells. The fibers of connective tissues provide support. Three types of fibers are found in the connective tissue matrix. They are collagen fibers, elastic fibers and reticular fibers. Actually, the fibers of connective tissue only provide support to the body. There are three types of fibers can be seen in the body: collagen, elastic and reticular. Connective tissue are of two types. One is loose connective tissue, another one is dense connective tissue. In loose connective tissue, areolar, adipose and reticular tissues are example. For dense connective tissue, dense regular, dense irregular and elastic types. And third one is specialized connective tissue, which include cartilage, bone and blood. So, actually, if we speak, there are three main types of connective tissue, that is loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue and specialized connective tissues. Areolar, adipose, reticular are example for loose connective tissue. Dense, regular, irregular and elastics are example for dense connective tissue. Cartilage, bone and blood are example for specialized connective tissues. Okay. Then loose connective tissues. In this tissue, the cells and fibers are loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substances. For example, the areolar connective tissue beneath the skin act as a support framework for epithelium and act as a reservoir of water and salts for the surrounding body tissue, hence aptly called tissue fluid. It contains fibroblast, macrophages and mast cell. Already in the first paragraph itself we have seen that connective tissue consists of three components: fibers, cells and cartilage. Okay, so in this tissue, in loose connective tissue, the fibers are loosely arranged in a semi fluid ground substance. Okay, ground over the ground substance fibers are present and cells also present. So here the ground substance is loosely arranged. The ground substance are semi-fluid and fibers are loosely arranged over the semi-fluid. Hence it is called loose connective tissue. Example for loose connective tissues are areolar connective tissue which are present beneath the skin and act as a support framework for epithelium and act as a reservoir of water and salt for surrounding body tissue, hence aptly called tissue fluid. You will get question like which tissue is called as tissue fluid, why it is called so. Okay, so areolar connective tissue is called as tissue fluid because it is present beneath the skin, act as a support framework for the epithelium and reservoir for water and salt. So it is called as what? Tissue fluid. And the cells present in the loose connective tissues are fibroblast, macrophages and mast cells. Okay, so in loose connective tissue the ground substance are semi-fluid and the fibers are arranged loosely. The fibers are arranged loosely and cells present over the loose connective tissues are fibroblast, macrophage and mast cell. This is about loose connective tissue. Here you will have a flow chart for connective tissue. Please go through by yourself, children. And next we will enter into adipose tissue. Actually adipose tissue also a type of loose connective tissue. Is similar to areolar tissue in structure and function and it's located beneath the skin. Adipocytes, commonly called adipose or fat cells, predominate and account for 90% of this tissue mass. The cells of this tissue store fat and the excess nutrients which are not utilized immediately are converted to fats and stored in the tissue. Okay, actually adipocytes, commonly called adipose or fat cells, predominant and account for 90% of this tissue mass. In areolar we could see fibroblast, macrophages as the cells. In adipose tissue, this adipocyte is commonly present in the adipose tissue and it accounts for 90% of this tissue mass. The cells of this tissue store the fat and excess nutrient which are not utilized immediately or converted to fat or stored in the tissue. The function of adipose tissue is storing fat. After the digestion, all the digested food will not be utilized for energy purpose. So some of the excess digested material are there. These excess digested glucose fat are stored in the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is richly vascularized, indicating the high metabolic activity. So in adipose tissue there is a rich storage of nutrient and rich supply of nutrient, so automatically metabolic activity will be more, and while fasting these cells maintain life by producing and supplying energy as fuel. Okay, when we are in fasting or in some situation we could not get any food material, in that situation the food stored, the excess food stored in the adipose tissues converted into glucose and reintroduced into the blood and enter into the tissues and utilized for the oxidation process to release energy. Adipose tissues are also found in subcutaneous tissues surrounding the kidneys, eyeball, heart, etc. Adipose tissue is called white fat or white adipose tissue. So then adipose tissue which contain abundant mitochondria is called brown fat or brown adipose tissue. White fat stores nutrient whereas brown fat is used to heat the bloodstream to warm the body. Brown fat produce heat by non-shivering thermogenesis in neonates. Okay, you have a question, children, as a book back one. Differentiate between white and brown adipose tissue. The adipose tissue which are present in the eyeball, heart, kidney or white fat, and it has limited number of mitochondria. But the adipose tissue which contain abundant mitochondria is called brown fat or brown adipose tissue. And what white fat store nutrient, but brown fat is used to heat the bloodstream to warm up the body. Then brown fat produce heat by non-shivering thermogenesis in neonates. Neonates means what? Newly born babies. And reticular connective tissues, it resembles areolar connective tissue, but the matrix is filled with the fibroblast called reticular cells. It form an internal framework that supports the blood cells largely lymphocytes in the lymph nodes, spleen and bone marrow. This is what reticular tissue. Reticular tissue, it's resemble areolar tissue in its structure, but the matrix is filled with fibroblast, and these fibroblasts are called reticular cells. It forms an internal framework that supports the blood cells in the lymph nodes, spleen and bone marrow. And next, dense connective tissue. So far we have discussed about loose connective tissue. Now we are going to discuss with dense connective tissue. Fibrous and fibroblast are compactly packed in the dense connective tissue. In loose connective tissue, in the semi-fluid ground substance, fibers are loosely arranged. But in dense connective tissue, the fibers and fibroblast are compactly packed in the dense connective tissue. Orientation of fibers serve a regular or irregular pattern and is called dense regular and dense irregular tissues. Okay, so when the tissue, fibers are compactly packed in the dense connective tissue. Based on the orientation of fibers, this dense connective tissue are divided into two types. One is dense regular, another one is dense irregular. In dense regular connective tissues primarily contain collagen fibers in rows between many parallel bundles of tissues and a few elastic fibers. Okay. Actually, both fibers are present in dense regular connective tissue. There are three types of fibers we could see in the connective tissue. Among this, collagen and elastic fibers we can see in the dense regular connective tissue. Actually, primarily it contains collagen fibers in rows between many parallel bundles of tissues. A few elastic fibers also present. The major cell type present in the dense regular connective tissue is fibroblast. Where it is present, it attaches muscles and bones and withstand a great tensile stress when pulling force applied in one direction. This connective tissue is present in the tendons. You know very well, tendon is a tensile like structure which help to attach the muscles with bone. So the connective tissue which are present in the tendons are called dense regular connective tissue, and that attach the skeletal muscles to bone, and ligaments attach one bone to another bone. So both tendons and ligaments are example for dense regular connective tissue. Next one is dense irregular connective tissue, have a bundles of thick collagen fibers and fibroblast which are arranged irregularly. The major cell type is the fibroblast. Here also the cells arranged are fibroblast. It is able to withstand tension exerted in many directions and provide structural strength. Actually, dense irregular provide stress or tension in one direction, but this irregular tissue withstand the tension exerted in many direction. Some elastic fibers are also present. It is found in the skin as the leathery dermis and form fibrous capsules of organs such as kidney, bones, cartilage, muscle, nerves and joints. Elastic connective tissues contain a high proportion of elastic fibers. It allows recoil of tissues following stretching. It maintains the pulsatile flow of blood through the arteries and the passive recoil of lungs following inspiration. So elastic connective tissue which are present in the walls of the arteries and also in the lungs. Okay, and we can pull and again it's regain its original structure. It is found in the walls of large arteries, ligaments associated with the vertebral column, and within the walls of the branchial tubes elastic tissues are present. Next we are going to see specialized connective tissue which are classified into cartilage, bones and blood. The intercellular material of cartilage is solid. The intercellular material of cartilage is solid and pliable and resist compression. So pliable means what? It is flexible. Though the substance, ground substance is solid, it is pliable, that is unresistant resist compression. Cells of this tissue, that is chondrocytes, the cells present in the cartilage are called chondrocytes, are enclosed in a small cavities. So the chondrocytes in the cartilage are enclosed in a small cavities within a matrix secreted by them. Most of the cartilages in vertebrate embryos are replaced by bone in adult. Actually, most of the cartilage bones are replaced cartilages in vertebrate embryos. In embryonic development, we are having cartilage as the skeletal system. This cartilage skeletal system, when reach the adult stage, transferred into a bone. Cartilage is present in the tip of nose, outer ear joints, ear pinna, between adjacent bones of the vertebral column, limbs and hands in adults. Bone, next bone. Bone have a hard and non-pliable ground substance rich in calcium salts and collagen fibers. Okay, so collagen fibers and calcium rich calciums are present more in the bones, which gives strength to the bones. It is the main tissue that provides structural frame to the body. Bones support and protect softer tissues and organs, and the bone cells are called osteocytes, which are present in the space called lacunae. Lymph bones, such as the long bones of the legs, so weight bearing function. They also interact with the skeletal muscle attached to them to bring about movements. The bone marrow in some bones is the site of production of blood cells. You know very well, the bone of long bones of limbs bearing bone marrow inside it. This bone marrow is the site for production of many blood cells. Next we will see the blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. Actually, cartilage and solid bones are solid connective tissue. Blood is an fluid connective tissue, and which consists of plasma and blood cells. Blood cells includes red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. It functions as the transport medium for the cardiovascular system, carrying nutrient waste, respiratory gases throughout the body. You will learn more about blood in chapter 7 we will discuss. Okay, then this important connective tissues disorder, you please go through it children. You will get as 1 mark, 2 mark, sometimes 3 mark also. Okay, and next we will enter into muscle tissue. Each muscle is made of many long cylindrical fibers arranged in parallel rays. These fibers are composed of numerous fine fibrils called myofibrils. Muscle fiber contract in response to stimulation, then relax and return to their uncontracted state in a coordinated fashion. In general, muscles play an active role in all the movement of the body. Actually, this also we will learn in upcoming chapters children. We will have a separate chapter as locomotion in locomotion and locomotion of animals. In this chapter we will elaborately discuss about the muscle structure and function and mechanism of muscle contraction, everything. Okay, so here in short form I'll say muscles are made up of muscle fibers. This muscle fibers contract, that is shorten in response to the stimuli whenever it is necessary, and again it relax to their original position when it is necessary. So in general, muscles play an active role in all the movement of the body. Yes, of course. There are 3 types of muscles: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle, from the name itself we could find where it is located. Skeletal muscles are located on the, yes, attached to the bone of or over the skeletal system of our body. Hence it is called skeletal muscle. Is closely attached to the skeletal muscle, and a typical muscle such as the biceps, the striated skeletal muscle fibers are bundled together in a parallel fashion. A sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fibers. Okay, this we will learn about more in the chapter 9. Next, smooth muscle. taper at both ends and do not show striation. So cell junctions held them together and they are bundled together in a connective tissue sheath. The walls of internal organs such as the blood vessels, stomach and intestine contain this type of muscle tissues. Smooth muscles are involuntary as their functions cannot be directly controlled. Unlike the smooth muscle, skeletal muscle cannot be controlled by merely thinking. So here we can write the difference between smooth muscles and skeletal muscles. The smooth muscles which are not under our control, hence we can speak it as what, involuntary muscle, but the skeletal muscle can be controlled by our thinking, hence it is called voluntary muscles. Next, cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscle tissue is a contractile tissue present only in the heart. Cell junctions fuse the plasma membrane of cardiac muscle cells and make them stick together. Communication junction at some fusion points allow the cells to contract as a unit. When one cell receives a signal to contract, its neighbor also stimulate to contract. That's it. About that too we will discuss in the chapter 9. Then palmaris muscles. This long narrow muscle runs from the elbow to the wrist and is important for hanging and climbing in primates. Is missing in 11% of humans body. Please, palmaris muscle, which is the long narrow muscle, runs from the elbow to wrist. This muscle help for the hanging and climbing of primates. It's 11% almost missing in human beings. And what are the disease of nervous system? Parkinson's disease, a degenerative disorder of the nervous system that affect movement, often including tremors. Next, Alzheimer's disease. It is a chronic neurodegenerative disease that when getting age, then cerebral cortex are started to degenerate and the condition is called Alzheimer's disease, okay, which include the symptoms of difficulty in remembering recent event, problem with language, disorientation and mood swings are the symptoms of this disease. The last one we are going to see is neural tissue. Yes, of course, it is a tissue present in the nervous system of our body and also present in the nerves of our body. Nervous tissue exert the greatest control over the body's responsiveness of changing condition. Neurons, the unit of neural system, are excitable cells. The neurological cells which constitute the rest of the neural system protect and support the neuron. Neuroglia makes up more than 1/2 of the volume of neural tissues in our body. When a neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated which swiftly travel along its plasma membrane. Arrival of the disturbance at the neuron's endings or output zone triggers event that may cause stimulation or inhibition of adjacent neurons and other cells. About this also we will see in detail in chapter 10. Okay. So these are the various types of muscles and tissues we could see in our body, children. So this third lesson we have completed, and in our next class I have started with another lesson. Might be it will be fifth lesson, fourth lesson, let's see, we'll go for fifth lesson. And today's homework, children, explain the various types of connective tissue. There are three types: dense connective tissue, loose connective tissue and specialized connective tissue. Loose connective tissues are three types: areolar, adipose and reticular. And dense connective tissues, dense irregular, dense regular and elastic. And third one is specialized connective tissue in that cartilage, bone and blood. And this you learn thoroughly and send it to me. Okay, children, we will see in our next class. Bye.